don't have really a layered discussions about this. So we take one thing particularly or what's happening in one state and say everything is voter suppression. So Democrats start at the idea that any change in voter or election laws is voter suppression. So what a lot of the states were actually doing because of the pandemic in Georgia and Florida and many of Texas and many of these other states, they actually implemented emergency measures such as the 24-hour voting that was available in Georgia, the ballot boxes that were all around the country. They actually did this in response to not being able to vote in person. Well, we're no longer at that point where we're not able to vote in person, so they've eliminated some of those emergency measures. But we don't have this larger conversation because we say, well, because in Georgia, they're no longer allowing line warming, which means that I can't get off of my NRA bus and hand out NRA water bottles to people standing in line. But if I wanted to actually give that to the poll workers themselves can actually do that. That's what's happening. In Georgia, Georgia actually has no excuse absentee voting, which means that you don't have to have a reason to request an absentee ballot in Georgia. In Delaware, Biden's home state of Delaware, you have to have a reason in order to request an absentee ballot. So like I said earlier, there are bits and pieces that people actually pull out to say this is voter suppression, but what it's not. It's not voter suppression. It's not Jim Crow. It's not many of these things that people have actually said that they were. And I think it's intellectually dishonest and not helpful for us to, when we don't have these much larger conversations about the real life examples and impacts. Because at the end of the day, if these things are disproportionately impact Black and brown people, there are legal mechanisms in order to actually deal with that.